And this is what a young Karl Rove would look like. Well, There Will Be Blood actor Paul Dano cast to play a younger Rove in the upcoming film called College Republicans. Dano, the actor, reportedly beat out Transformers actor Shia LaBeouf for the role. The movie will tell how Rove and political strategist Lee Atwater went from college buddies to some of the most powerful men in politics. The movie starts filming this fall.
Did Karl have that much hair, you figure?
I don't know, but that doesn't really look like him.
We're going to need
all.
the high school shot.
Karl's from Texas.
Let's get the truth perspective, because
Let's do that.
Brian's actually in Dallas, Texas for Patriot Golf today, and he's sitting right next to President George W. Bush, who employed Karl Rove. Brian, I don't know if you have a monitor out there. Did the president have a chance to see that look-alike for Karl Rove? Is it a true depiction?
Mr. President, did you see the side-by-side with the actor that's going to play Karl Rove a second ago? Is that a true depiction of the young Karl Rove that you knew? That upstart kid with all the energy?
Did Karl have bangs?
I didn't go to high school with him.
You didn't go to school with him. Did Karl ever have bangs, do you know?
I don't know.
The Karl he knows did not have bangs, and we do not have an entry on who would play Karl Rove. But it is interesting that we have Karl Rove kicking around, Dana Perino kicking around to give insight and to give more insight into President Bush. He is back again with Major Dan Rooney, and Major Ed Polito is joining us now. He's a wounded and decorated veteran whose children have received some money from Patriot Golf Day. And Major Dan, welcome back officially. It's great to see you, Major. And of course, Mr. President, why was it important you be here today, 2 years in a row?
I want America to continue to pay attention to our vets. And I also want to continue to pay attention to our vets. And so Patriot Golf Day asked people to donate $1 of their greens fees.
That's it?
Yeah, $1 to raise money for the children of those who have been wounded and or killed in combat.
Right, so you're here today. We're going to play 18 holes. I almost injured you 3 times, or is it 4 times, when you were holding the flag and I just had too much on it?
Yeah, well, you almost injured yourself with that terrible swing, but I understand that you've taken lessons.
Right. Yeah, I've had quality lessons.
That's
that
good.
I'll verify.
That's good.
Now, Major, I want to let the country know who you are. You're serving in Iraq. You're in a Land Rover. You're driving to debrief somebody that's linked with Zarqawi. And what happened with you?
Well, on August 17th of 2004, I hit an improvised explosive device roadside bomb, which would subsequently lead to the amputation of my left leg. But I always say that it's about God, country, family, and all of those that serve. I'm here with the Commander-in-Chief. I'm honored to be with the Commander-in-Chief, and it makes me emotional because I tell the American people I'd do it again because I love this man, I love this country, and my God on that day gave me a second chance to live and dream freedom, and that is why I joined the foundation, and I'm honoring Dan Rooney, who gave my 2 girls scholarships, Caitlin and Kinsley, and my wife Karen, and I will eternally be grateful for that gift.
Wow, that's fantastic. You shot in the arm, you're blown up, your leg's a mess, and you still managed to drive and get your guys to safety. You are awarded the Bronze Star by David Petraeus, the Purple Heart, which is on your lapel, and the Meritorious Service Medal. This is a special guy, Mr. President.
We've got a lot of special people in America, particularly those who have volunteered to serve our country in a time of danger. And what's even more special about America is that we've got people who, when severely injured, are facing heartbreak, say, look, I'm not going to let that get me down. I want to continue to serve, and this guy's done that.
Right, and not only that, Major Dan, he's working with you.
Absolutely, and you know, one of the things that Folds of Honor we're so proud of is being able to bring veterans into the mix, like myself, like Major Ed, and it's an opportunity for all of us to continue to give back to that 1% that defend our freedoms.
Mr. President, I know you go to Fort Hood. You don't do it you do a lot of things under the radar. You work with a lot of veterans, and I'm wondering at some point, with you and Mrs. Bush, does it ever wear you out where you think to yourself, man, the anguish as I see Ed here with 1 leg or a double amputee?
You know, when I talk to Ed, I get inspired. Just listen to his words. I mean, by far the vast majority of people who have served our country in the military say, I'm proud of my service. Even though I got hurt, I would do it again. And so the story I hear is when that is unbelievably inspirational. One reason why it's important to herald our vets, such as Ed, is that there's people in America saying, oh, my life is terrible. Well, here's a guy's life actually was terrible, and because of his courage and determination, and in his case, his answering the call of an almighty, he said, look, I'm going to overcome my difficulties.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people watching right now say, well, you know, I didn't serve. I'm not one of the 1.4 million active right now or the 10 million that have served over the last 10 years, but you want to give back. And the private sector's got to help, Major, right? I mean, everyone's like, oh, the government's got to help out. The VA's got to be better. But the private sector's got to help.
It does, and I don't think we need bigger government. I think we need, as Americans, that 99%, I've said it this morning, there's 1% that provides our freedoms. And I think it's up to all of us to repay that debt. And Folds of Honor obviously provides scholarships to the spouses and the kids of the fallen and disabled. And today, this weekend, we're honored to have President Bush with us and Major Ed. But we're teeing it up on behalf of all these people that need our help. And the country can step up this weekend, 4,000 golf courses with the PGA of America and the USGA. Donate at least $1 when they play golf. It changed lives. It doesn't get any more American than that.
Mr. President, there's talking that every 4, 5, 6 years in America, there's talking about cutting back defense, and they're talking about rearranging the health plans of the military. Give them more of a 401k, going away from the 80-year setup that we've had prior. Does that bother you? Would that be something to spring you back into the limelight to make sure that doesn't happen?
No, I'm not going back in the limelight. We got plenty of capable people debating the issues. I'm going to spend a lot of my life, though, honoring the vets and reminding America that we're a blessed nation to have people like Ed and Dan here to serve, and that our families, our vets, need the very best care they can possibly get. I'll let the policy guys debate the policy. But I'm going to continue to remind people about what a blessed nation we are.
Right, and I think we do know that, and I think they really appreciate you. Been to about 9 military bases over the last 3 years, all the academies. There's a lot of Democrats out there, but still, they're pretty unanimous that Mr. President, you're behind him. I'm just wondering, are you going to be behind any candidate this year? Are you going to possibly?
I'm going to support our party's nominee.
Whoever it is.
And in the meantime, I'm going to remain an observer, an interested observer.
But still following.
Yeah, I also follow baseball.
Right, that's true, too. I see it at all the Ranger games. And, of course, a lot of your guys are in the limelight again. Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, talking about Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
This is like your family. Does it bother you?
No, I'm glad members of my family are giving their version of what it was like to serve our country. I did the same thing. I put my version out there. And eventually objective historians will analyze our administration and will draw objective conclusions.
Right. We have to be objective here.
Yeah.
And it's time to stand up and tee off.
Good.
And unfortunately for America, they're going to have to witness me. But they got a few pros, and Ed's fine. And Mr. President, I hear you're the most improved golfer in the country. Let's go tee it off,
Very
should we?
generous.
Let's whip around, put the chairs down behind us. And I don't think you know, tradition has it. You'll go first, Mr. President. And I do have to warn you, I guess you know this already, there's a ravine ahead of you.
No. Is that what that is?
Yeah. I don't want to intimidate you. So we're going to get to play 18 holes, but it all starts here. And then I guess we'll follow after this, Major Dan?
Oh, absolutely. You know.
Ready?
And, let's celebrate God and country today, Mr. President.
All right.
It's an honor to be here with you.
Woo!
Ed,
Wow.
That's intimidating, isn't it?
That was outstanding.
Great job, Mr. President.
Oh, man. That was awesome. Well done, sir.
You expected it.
Barnyard.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Major Ed Polito.
All right, Ed, good ball.
I hit it.
Good job, baby. All right, go ahead, brother.
No, you go. You're the pro.
All right.
And you run your ass around 2 hours. We go on before we get
This is the only live golf event we cover here on
you
Fox
ready?
and Friends. Good job, Ed.
Thanks.
That'll work. Yeah. Now, Mr. President, any final words? You've seen my swing. You've seen my practice swing. You've seen me a year ago. What advice might you have for me?
Don't look up.
Don't look up.
Don't swing hard.
Okay.
Deep breath.
Yeah, thanks. The shot heard around the world, Brian.
My other advice is
Do we
sometimes...
have time still, or do you want
Yeah.
to just call it a day?
My other advice is sometimes today, hit it.
Yeah. Mr. President, he likes to play quick.
Yeah.
Oh, great shot. That's the best shot you've ever hit in your
I'm
life.
going to call it a day. Good night, everybody. That's about all I can do.
We got Alan. We got one more